Hi and welcome back. In this video we're going to be analyzing some regex expressions and having a look at a few more examples. If you can go to this website here, regexer.com, at least I think that's how you say it, could be totally wrong there. This is going to allow us to run some regex, try it out, and see how it works a bit better. So if this looks slightly different, don't worry, it sort of changes over time. It looks a bit different than the last time I used it. And what we're going to do is have a wee look at what is here. So I'm gonna close that there. If you want to keep it open, you can do that by all means. You just click on this button here. You've got a few menu icons here. We're going to look at them just a bit later. But essentially what it says is Regexer is an online tool to learn, build, and test regular expressions. So it's a pretty useful thing. Then we have two main things. We have some text, and we have an expression. Don't worry about the things here, the //g and stuff like that. We will learn about those later on. So do not worry about them. Just, we're going to be typing our regular expressions within the brackets. You cannot type anywhere else. So it's going to be within the slashes, sorry. So in here, we're going to type our regular expressions. And in here, we're going to type the text against which they're going to match. So for example, let's say we are looking at this pattern that is Charlie. And we want to find out what regular expression matches this text, this word here. So we could do that. The first regular expression that matches the text is Charlie. So if you put the entire word Charlie in there, this shows you as a blue box that these two match. Down here in the tools section, it tells you exactly why it's matching. So you've got the character C, which matches the character C, the character H, which matches the character H, and so forth. Because you've got all these characters in this order, that matches exactly this word. Okay? But of course, this is too simple. So we can do something else. Notice that if you type the character C in here, you match only the C. If you only type the character H, you're matching only the H. You've essentially found, using this expression here, some text, or some pattern within this text. In this case, the pattern you're looking for is the letter H, and you have been able to find it. If you type P, notice how you don't get any blue boxes here, because the P does not match any word or any letter in here. Okay? So, the next thing we could do is we could type in one of our already known regular expressions, the dot. Notice that as soon as you type the dot, you get a lot of individual little boxes, one for each letter. That's because the dot matches any character except the new line or the line break. So what you've got is the dot matches the C, the dot matches the H, the dot matches the A, but it doesn't match the word because the dot only matches one character. If you wanted to match many characters, you would use, for example, the star. So you've got the dot star, which means any of or zero or more of the dot. And now notice how you get the box around the entire word. So what we've done here is we have now defined our regular expression pattern, which says that we want to match in our text anything and any amount of it. So it matches all our text. And indeed, if we add more text, notice how it keeps matching. It matches everything because the dot matches everything. But as soon as we put a new line in there, the new content is not matched because the new line character is not matched by the dot. So the dot is going to match from the start as much as possible until it reaches a character that it cannot match, and then it's going to signal the end of this pattern. Okay? The next thing we can match is some characters. So for example, once again, bringing the example of Charlie, notice how as soon as we type Charlie in here, we get Charlie matching. Nothing else matches, of course, because this is the only instance of Charlie we've got. Okay. We can do, for example, A, B, or C. So this is in square brackets, we've got A, B, C. And what this is doing is it's matching any of the characters inside the brackets. So as you can see, the character set here says it should match any character in the set. So you've got C matching, you've got A matching, you've got A matching there. If we add a B here, the B matches as well. So this is a range. And of course, now that we're matching A, B, or C, we can do, for example, a plus. And that is going to match one or more of this set. So if you have B, 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 you are now matching all of the B's as opposed to each one individually. Notice that if we remove the plus, they now match, but they match individually as opposed to all together. When you add the plus, they match all together as a single thing. Okay. Instead of A, B, C, we can select all of the letters from A to C. And notice how now you match on all the letters except the capital letters. And I'm going to delete these B's there. You match all the letters, you don't match the spaces, you don't match the capital letters. Notice how the letters all match individually. If you add A to Z plus or A to Z plus, depending on where you're from, now you see the words start matching on their own. Or at least the parts of the words here start matching on their own. So that's pretty cool. Because now, if we were to run this regular expression using Python, we could extract each word in our text, which is quite nice. If you wanted to match the capital letters as well, you can do that by just using a capital A there. Now you're matching the capital letters as well, and you're matching the whole words. What this is doing is this is a range. So you're matching letters that go from the capital A to lowercase z. Notice how then here it tells you that these character codes are from 65 to 122. So these are ASCII character codes. It just means that you're matching all the letters in that range. So that's A to Z or A to Z in lowercase and also A to Z in uppercase. Okay. So here's another example. If you type Jose, A to Z plus matches the entire word. A to Z alone matches each character individually. And if you put a dot in the middle, you are matching JO and SE, but you are not matching the dot. Okay? Of course, if you then put the dot in here, remember \dot, now you are matching anything in that range or this dot, any number of that. So remember the square brackets are a character set, so you're matching any character inside the square brackets. This is a range of characters, so it matches A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, 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 up to Z. And this matches the dot, and you're matching any number of them. If you put the dot in here without the \, you're matching anything. So you no longer need these things. Okay? Let's do that. Cool. Let's look again at the emails. Let's look at, for example, jose@tecladocode.com. Notice how A to Z \dot plus matches the Jose, because that is 4 characters in this range. And it matches tecladocode.com, because it's, again, any characters in this range. But it does not match the @ symbol. So, of course, we could fix it. We could say A to Z plus, and then the @ symbol. Because now we've got any character in here, A to Z or the dot, any number of those, and then an @ symbol. But notice how now we're only matching Jose @, because that's the only thing that matches this. If we put an @ symbol here, now it matches the entire thing, because A to Z and the dot matches this. The new @ symbol has to match too. So what can we do instead of that? Well, we can add some more ranges here, A to Z plus, and now we're matching Jose at teclado code. Because we've got our first letter range here, the plus, which says more than 1, the at symbol, which matches exactly this at symbol, and then we've got another range with a plus that matches another number of characters here, but then we don't match this dot. If we wanted to match the dot, we would have to add the dot in there, and now it matches everything. Okay. Now, if we wanted to only match some of these TLDs, like for example .com or .net, we could do that. But then we will have to restructure our regular expression slightly. Instead of doing that, we could do this. Now the dot is outside this range, so it's only included once. And as soon as we reach that, we stop because this dot is outside the range. So again, what we're matching is A to Z, or any dots, any number of times. That's Jose. We've got the at symbol, which matches the at symbol. A to Z plus, which matches any number of letters. That's the teclado code. And then we've got this dot, which matches the dot. Now we have to decide how to match the .com. So we can put a com, and that would match, of course, because we've got com there. Or we can do, for example, com / or pipe me. So then it'll match .com, but it will also match .me. But it won't match .net, for example. Notice how now nothing matches in this pattern. This pattern does not match this at all. As soon as we change it to me, though, it does match, because now Jose is here, at symbol is there, teclado code is there, the dot is there, and the me is here. So what the pipe means is either of these two. And what the bracket means, it just allows you to capture things and combine them together. Okay. So there's a lot more to regular expressions than this. There are ways to match numbers, there's ways to match addresses, there can be some really long and complicated regular expressions. And I'd encourage you to play around with this website, try a few things out, and also if you look at the menu, you've got here a reference. This can tell you a bit more about the different things that you can use in regular expressions. And also there's a cheat sheet that tells you a bit more information about regular expressions. Regular expressions would take a few hours to cover comprehensively, so it's not something that I think we want to get into. But of course, if you have any questions or you want to match any specific patterns and you don't know how, by all means go ahead and ask in the course Q&A or in the Slack channel, and I'll be more than happy to help you. As we progress through the course, we're going to be using some more regular expressions, and when we do that, we will look into them. But I just don't want to turn this into a course for you to learn all about regular expressions, because I think that could be quite boring for some people who just want to continue and do some programming. Again, any questions, please come and ask me. I'll be more than happy to help. But other than that, let's move on. We've understood a bit of what regular expressions are about. We can now start using them and really understand them when we do that. I'll see you in the next video.